Welcome back to Calhoun County's Most Wanted, the program where you get to help make Calhoun County a better and safer place by helping us lock up the bad guys. I'm your host, Chris Wright, along with Chief Deputy Matthew Wade from the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office. Good to see you, Matthew.
Hey, glad to be another week. Live kicking. Still raining a little bit, but I do love the warm weather.
Yeah, I saw you were celebrating National Tartan Day yesterday.
I was. I had to put a picture of our kilt that we wear. A lot of people, they see me playing at different places. The Sheriff's Office tartan is the Calhoun tartan, which is a clan in Scotland, which translates into Calhoun, and that's the reason why we chose it, to honor our county when we play. So we celebrated National Tartan Day.
Well, we honored the tartan yesterday. Today, let's honor the folks who have sent in some great information and helped us lock up some bad guys.
Absolutely. And once again, y'all have done your job. 6 guys are arrested this week, and brings our total up to 3,351 people put behind bars, all because you were willing to get involved. We cannot do this alone with 50 deputies. We need the force multipliers. We need the people that are willing to get out there and get involved, and we do appreciate you for doing that.
I saw a news release from the Sheriff's Office yesterday. I believe it was you that sent it out about an incident involving a heroin.
Scary stuff. Past couple of years, Birmingham has seen an influx of heroin. Last year,
It's a huge problem there.
They had more deaths. They had a couple of hundred overdose deaths in Birmingham last year from heroin. It's scary stuff. It's replacing methamphetamines and crack cocaine, and people don't know what they're doing, and they're using this drug, and as soon as they use it, it's killing them on the spot, or they go into a coma. And this person here had shot up, immediately passed out, was in the middle of the road with a running car. Cars are going around him. Deputies come. He's lucky that he didn't kill somebody or somebody didn't kill him. They got the paraphernalia off of him, and he had about 2 grams of heroin, which is 2 grams is a very small amount, but for heroin, that was almost trafficking weight, almost a Class A felony. This guy here is going to be dead if somebody doesn't intervene in his life and get him off of it.
And it's not the same demographics that you might assume with illegal drugs. The people that are using heroin in Birmingham, I was listening to a program about this, and it's not who people might think.
Absolutely. We think, as people who are middle class, have jobs, try to raise their children the best they can, that they give them what they can. They think, well, I'm raising my children right. Well, just because of your socioeconomic status doesn't eliminate them from using drugs. Actually, it's more middle class people that are getting on these drugs, and it is killing them. I know somebody who's lost a son recently that lives in another county. Their father was a law enforcement officer, and the son is now dead from heroin. So it affects everybody. A
lot of people that were abusing prescription drugs, it's gotten harder to get those, and they've turned to heroin. So if you know somebody that might fit that category, watch them closely, be careful, watch everybody in your household, make sure that if you see any signs, you deal with it very quickly, because this is not something to play around with.
It'll kill them.
All right. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we will have the first half of this week's lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
For emergency and non-emergency medical transportation, you can count on Anniston EMS.
Hello, I'm Johnny Warren with Anniston EMS, and we appreciate the opportunity to provide support for the Calhoun County's Most Wanted program. And I would like to remind everyone out there that if they need any medical transportation needs, please don't hesitate to call us.
Call Anniston EMS at 256-237-8572.
Does your car stink? Tired of holding your nose and hiding your face? Let AOD Federal Credit Union help you find a new ride you'll be proud to drive at the 23rd Annual Credit Union Car Sale. Visit the Anniston Metropolitan Airport April 15th through 20th. Loan officers will be on site for immediate approval. Find your car at the 23rd Annual Calhoun County Credit Union Car Sale and insist on AODFCU financing for awesome low auto loan rates.
The Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality, and Sonny King Ford brings you the lowest price and the largest inventory, new or pre-owned. The new 2015 F-150 gets the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity. The iconic new 2015 Mustang, with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down stance, preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sonny King Ford for the best cars and best price.
Hi, I'm Katina Houston with Family Links, and this is the parenting tip of the week. When your child is throwing daily tantrums or your teenagers are disobeying every rule you establish, staying positive can seem difficult. However, many studies have shown that positive parenting results in children who are healthier physically and emotionally. This type of parenting is based on a positive psychology, which encourages control over our bodies, minds, and emotions to promote well-being, happiness, and success. Here are a few tips to help us stay positive and reflect that in our parenting. Number 1, empower your children. Allow your children to make decisions on their own. This will teach them accountability and responsibility. When they control their lives in small ways, they'll learn how to accept consequences that come with their choices. Number 2, demonstrate that you believe in your children. This will give them the confidence they need to make decisions on their own and believe in their choices. When your child makes a choice, show your delight at their choice. Communicate your confidence in your children frequently. Tell them that they can do anything they set their minds to. Number 3, provide an environment of unconditional love. Children need to know that their parents will love and support them even when they make bad choices that lead to negative consequences. Number 4, be an active parent. Communicate regularly with your children and get to know their friends and their friends' parents. Spend time together as a family and one-on-one with each child. As a positive parent, you need to let your child know you enjoy getting to know him or her as an individual. And lastly, keep your overall attitude positive. Parents need to lead by example, and in order to parent positively, you need to have a good attitude about your life and your role as a parent. Remember, do as I say, not as I do has very little effect on changing our children's behaviors. If we exhibit consistent positive behavior, it will reflect in our children's behaviors as well. For more parenting tips, please call Family Links at 256-820-5911.
And welcome to this week's edition of Calhoun County's Most Wanted. First up on our lineup this week, Joseph Warren. Mr. Warren, last known to be living in Jacksonville, he's wanted for failure to appear on a possession of marijuana first. And this is Brandon Startley. Mr. Startley, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted for breaking and entering a motor vehicle and bond revocations on possession and receipt of a controlled substance, use and possession of drug paraphernalia, and resisting arrest. And take a look at Billy Rozelle. Mr. Rozelle, last known to be living in Anniston, he's wanted for failure to appear on leaving the scene of an accident and attempting to elude. And meet Sarah Morgan. Miss Morgan, last known to be living in Oxford, she's wanted on bond revocation for theft of property second. Take a look at Ronald Hulsey. Mr. Hulsey, last known to be living in Ohatchee, he's wanted for failure to appear on possession and receipt of a controlled substance, possession of marijuana second, and possession of drug paraphernalia. And last up for the first half of our lineup, Mary Moody. Miss Moody, last known to be living in Oxford, she's wanted for failure to appear on fraudulent use of a credit card ×2 and negotiating a worthless negotiation instrument ×2. That's writing a bad check, folks. That's it for the first half of our lineup. Stay tuned for the second half later in the show.
All right, we'll have more bad guys for you here in just a few minutes, but right now I want to bring my wife actually onto the program. Not here to talk about me, hopefully. Alice is with Jacksonville State University, the Core Scholars Program, and it's good to actually have you where I'm in control for a few minutes.
Oh yes, I'm very worried.
It'll be over in a few minutes, so I'll behave.
You're not in control.
I know.
Thank you, Matthew.
All right. So Core Scholars, you tell me about it every day, but a lot of people don't even know that we have it, certainly don't know what it is. Tell us about it.
Core Scholars was part of a grant, or is part of a grant that was awarded to JSU about a little bit over a year ago, which is the Core Grant, Collaborative Regional Education. And what the Core Scholars part of the Core Grant does is that it sets up an office to basically oversee and promote dual enrollment amongst the school systems in our area, and also to provide some scholarships for some of our school systems.
Parents love scholarships.
Yes.
And dual enrollment, that can save you money with you getting the scholarship, but it can also save you money in other ways. It's just a really good program that a lot of parents and students aren't fully aware of.
Right. Several times I've heard parents go, well, my student's going to have a scholarship anyway, so we don't need to do dual enrollment. But as you were talking about it, we can actually save more money than just tuition. If you are taking dual enrollment classes within your high school, then you're saving on housing, you're saving on meals. In some cases, you're saving on books also.
And it can also help you save that scholarship. I know that
Yes.
a lot of kids get into college, like myself, that first year you have trouble with the grades, you may lose that scholarship. I lost a scholarship. But if you get to take a few classes through dual enrollment, you can build up your GPA before you ever get on campus with all those distractions. And that big scholarship that those parents are talking about may otherwise disappear, but you may be able to save it because of that.
Correct, because what happens, and I was an A student, went off to college, and that Christmas when my grades came in was not a very happy Christmas at my house, but I was able to rebound. However, for many students, just managing the technical aspects of school is difficult, or college is difficult. One of the things that we do through the grant that's made possible is we have two ladies who work in our office that are core scholar specialists. They actually both have an educational background. They go out to the schools. They help students apply. So students actually go to the JSU website. We have a specific online application for them, and our ladies help them go through that process, teach them how to apply, which will help them after a couple of years in school to apply to those other colleges if they're looking at going somewhere else.
The whole learning experience just a little bit earlier on gets you ready. JSU's not the only school doing dual enrollment. You're working with the high schools, but you've got the two-year colleges and such that do that as well. What's different about dual enrollment at JSU?
Well, first of all, we offer different opportunities. We have students who are involved with online courses through JSU. I know at one of our school systems that don't have enough teachers to offer Jacksonville State dual enrollment through their teachers on their campus. We've basically hooked them up with some online courses. We have one student that's finishing up his literature survey courses, and we have two other students who are doing 2 courses each in dual enrollment or with our JSU professors.
And Matthew, you're listening closely. You got kids that are going to be that age soon.
Absolutely. College was the same for me. I went, and the reason why I made it through college was I loved living at JSU so much. I knew if I didn't have good enough grades that my parents would make me come home. So I stayed there, and that's what drove me to do it. Now, there is a shock when you go off and you're making all the decisions yourself. Having those courses behind you would put you so far ahead of everybody else and just give you a little breathing room, and it's a great idea to do.
It really does, and for an example from my teaching career, I used to teach an exploratory course in French that lasted about 6 weeks. And the next year, I had many of those students in French 1. There was a notable difference between students who had taken the exploratory course and came into French 1 with just a tad bit more knowledge than the others. They understood it, so they were able to have a smoother transition. And I think that's the same thing to be said about dual enrollment. It's a shock when your teachers, your instructors only give you 2, maybe 4 exams, so you don't have as many grades as you do in high school. And also, again, like I said, just learning how to register for courses, how to pay your account. A lot of students have problems with those issues, and parents also have issues with being able to find out that information in a timely manner.
All right. Well, we're almost out of time, but I know we haven't talked about everything, couldn't possibly. If people want to find out more about the dual enrollment program and about those scholarships, can they talk to their guidance counselors at school? What's the best way to find out?
Right. Core Scholars Partners, we partner with public high schools. We've got about 18 in the area that goes south as Randolph County and as far north as Fort Payne City Schools. However, there is more information about that on the website, www.corepartners.org. There's also information on the Core Scholars Scholarship, which should be opening up about mid-April, and we will probably have about 250 scholarships available that will cover 1 3-hour course.
All right, very good. Corepartners.org is the website.
Yes, and for more information in general about the Core Scholars Dual Enrollment Program, you can go to the JSU website page. We also offer to private and homeschoolers.
All right, very good. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll have the second half of this week's lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
Crackhead, drug addict, alcoholic, meth freak, a rich, like me.
I once was
homeless,
broken, sad,
just lost. But now I am sober,
happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
Your word is rigmarole.
Can you define it?
A long, complicated, and annoying process.
Can you use it in a sentence?
The last time I tried to buy a car, I just got a big load of rigmarole.
Well, you should have gone to Jacksonville Auto Sales.
Jacksonville Auto Sales across from Walmart in Jacksonville, or find us on the web at jascars.com. Remember, Jacksonville Auto Sales, home of the no rigmarole deal.
Does your car stink? Tired of holding your nose and hiding your face? Let AOD Federal Credit Union help you find a new ride you'll be proud to drive at the 23rd Annual Credit Union Car Sale. Visit the Anniston Metropolitan Airport April 15th through 20th. Loan officers will be on site for immediate approval. Find your car at the 23rd Annual Calhoun County Credit Union Car Sale and insist on AODFCU financing for awesome low auto loan rates.
The Ford brand has always brought you impressive style and legendary quality, and Sonny King Ford brings you the lowest price and the largest inventory, new or pre-owned. The new 2015 F-150 gets the best gas mileage of any truck without giving up its powerful towing capacity. The iconic new 2015 Mustang, with its classic pony car looks and hunkered down stance, preserves a legacy that defines American motoring. For over 93 years, Sonny King Ford, for the best cars and best price.
And welcome to the second half of our lineup. First up this half, Kimberly Sheffield. Miss Sheffield, last known to be living in Alexandria. She's wanted for failure to pay on theft of property first. And meet Rebecca Hall. Miss Hall, last known to be living in Jacksonville. She's wanted for failure to pay on writing lots of bad checks. And meet Angel Butts. Miss Butts, last known to be living in Anniston. She's wanted for failure to appear on possession of marijuana second. This is Jordan Simmons. Mr. Simmons, last known to be living in Jacksonville. He's wanted for obstruction of governmental operation. Take a look at Jeffrey Hindman. Mr. Hindman, last known to be living in Weaver. He's wanted for failure to appear on possession of marijuana second. And last up in our lineup this week, Jonathan Williams. Mr. Williams, last known to be living in Anniston, is wanted for violation of a domestic violence protection order. And that's it for our lineup this week. If you know the whereabouts of any of these people, please give us a call at Crime Stoppers, 256-238-1414.
More crime fighting in a few minutes. The Crime Stoppers segment of the show coming up, but it is Sexual Assault Awareness Month, Matthew.
You know, if you see the pinwheels out on Quintard, you see how many children have been abused.
Yeah,
kind of goes along with it, and it's just a shame.
It is, absolutely is. So from Second Chance, we got Trace and Susan who are joining us now. So I know we've already had a few activities here this month. We've got a few more coming up. So tell us what we need to know, what we need to be aware of this month.
Well, we kicked off April with 1 Billion Rising at JSU, which we're so excited that we had that opportunity to celebrate there again. And we've had a variety of different things coming up, like our webinar, which we'll be having in coordination with the National Domestic Violence Resource Center. Good. And Ben Atherton-Zeman and Chris Maycomer, who's a sociology professor at North Carolina, and the Second Chance staff will be talking about engaging men in the sexual assault movement. So
and anybody can participate in the webinar. There's a link will be posted on our Facebook page if you want to participate. You have to register. And the last time that this webinar was done, there were more than 500 people registered for that.
Wow.
And, worldwide, it was really exciting.
Cool. Now, I noticed, Matthew, in the lineup this week, we've got an individual who is wanted for violating a protection order against assault, domestic assault, I believe.
You know, and people, you hear things about protection orders, you know, people say, well, it's just a piece of paper, but it does give the courts and law enforcement a way to punish people who do it, even to a higher level than just harassing someone.
It really does. It puts a lot of teeth in the law, and over the past couple of years, the punishment for violation of a protection order has really been increased. So it's really not a good idea to violate a protection order.
Do you find a lot of victims don't want to file for that because they don't believe it's going to help?
Actually, if we are able to work with a victim, we can usually encourage them. There are pros and cons. Not everybody needs a PFA, and it's not safe for some people to get a PFA. So we talk to them individually, to learn what their situation is.
Well, has it been a good month so far?
So far, we've been really busy, which has been thrilling. Plus, we are getting ready for our Journey Through Hope Walk, which is going to be on April 18th. So this is our 4th annual walk, and we already have contacted the Calhoun County Sheriff's Department to escort us. Thank you for that again.
Always glad to.
And this walk is a one-way 5-mile walk. So we start at the Heroes American Grill and then walk along 21 until we get to the Jacksonville Square. And the idea about this is it's for survivors and their loved ones to walk together in an effort to show solidarity, but then also to really recognize how long it takes for someone to go from that kind of victimization to survivorship. And it's really powerful and wonderful. We have about 60 to 70 people usually walking with us, and we'd love to see a whole lot more.
Sometimes we see something like a walk and we say, okay, how is walking going to do anything? Well, the walking itself really doesn't do anything. It's the shared experience that really does do something that you can't put your finger on until you experience it.
And when you see this trail of us traipsing up Highway 21 to the square in Jacksonville, you're looking and you're wondering, and we've got signs, and so it's an awareness, a big, huge assistance to our awareness efforts.
It's one thing for us to talk about it on television and somebody sitting there watching them and we're having a conversation, but as far as the viewers, it's a one-way conversation. That's a positive thing, but what really makes a difference is when you have people discussing it together. You start that conversation.
Awareness is great, but we also need to have action also. That's why when we have these kind of things, we like people to show up and speak out and show that they're with us and engaged in our community with us in these things. And because awareness, people are aware that this is going on, but they may not be aware of all of the specifics, and they may not also be aware of what they can do. So we're asking folks to pay attention with us and act too.
And sometimes the things that we're aware of aren't necessarily correct.
Exactly.
We find out that some of the things that we've held on to, that we heard somewhere and repeated, and we think, okay, this is true, it's really not.
And it's perpetuating a myth. At the end of the walk, we'll have a little picnic and have some conversations about sexual assault and to maybe clear up some of those things for people. And oftentimes we find volunteers ongoing for us at the end of our walks. We have conversations about what they can do on an ongoing basis with us.
Did you hear that, Matthew? She said picnic.
A picnic.
A picnic, a basket, which is draws me there.
We tease Matthew, but he always there to help out with so many different things.
Anything we can do.
Appreciate that.
Indeed.
All right. So where can people go to find out more information?
Well, we ask people to pay attention to our Facebook page. So the Second Chance Inc. Facebook page, like us. We've moved over 1,000 likes just recently. We're very excited about that.
Yes.
And they can find us online at secondchanceinc.org, and they can certainly call our office at 256-236-7381 for more information about any of our events.
Well, ladies, thank you very much. I hope that all the events are successful. A safe walk. Drive carefully along Highway 21 on the 18th. What time will that be?
Starting at 9.
Starting at 9 in the morning.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So it will be daylight at least.
It will.
Nobody walking across the street in the dark. We'll take a break and we'll be back with the Crime Stopper segment and our crazy criminal of the week on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.
Does your car stink? Tired of holding your nose and hiding your face? Let AOD Federal Credit Union help you find a new ride you'll be proud to drive at the 23rd Annual Credit Union Car Sale. Visit the Anniston Metropolitan Airport April 15th through 20th. Loan officers will be on site for immediate approval. Find your car at the 23rd Annual Calhoun County Credit Union Car Sale and insist on AODFCU financing for awesome low auto loan rates.
For emergency and non-emergency medical transportation, you can count on Anniston EMS.
Hello, I'm Johnny Warren with Anniston EMS, and we appreciate the opportunity to provide support for the Calhoun County's Most Wanted program. And I would like to remind everyone out there that if they need any medical transportation needs, please don't hesitate to call us.
Call Anniston EMS at 256-237-8572.
Your word is rigmarole.
Can you define it?
A long, complicated, and annoying process.
Can you use it in a sentence?
The last time I tried to buy a car, I just got a big load of rigmarole.
Well, you should have gone to Jacksonville Auto Sales.
Jacksonville Auto Sales across from Walmart in Jacksonville, or find us on the web at jascars.com. Remember, Jacksonville Auto Sales, home of the no rigmarole deal.
Amazing grace.
How sweet the sound that saved.
A crackhead, drug addict, alcoholic, meth freak, a wretch like me.
I once was
Homeless,
broken, sad,
just lost. But now I am sober.
happy.
I'm found. Was blind, but now I see.
Every day, shattered lives are restored thanks to the goods you donate to the Salvation Army.
And welcome to this week's edition of Crime Stoppers, where we ask you to put your deer stalkers on and help our investigators with these cases. First case on your workload this week: between March 28th and April 1st, a weed eater and assorted tools were stolen from this residence on Airport Road in Oxford. Sometime on March 26th, an outbuilding located on Highway 144 in Alexandria was broken into. They got away with a chainsaw, string trimmer, leaf blower, and power tool. Sometime between March 26th and March 31st, an outbuilding located on Roy Webb Road in Jacksonville was broken into. They got away with a leaf blower, string trimmer, and chainsaw. And sometime between March 31st and April 1st, a red Chevrolet S10 and a black Mercedes were broken into. Those vehicles were parked at a residence on Gilbert's Ferry Road in Ohatchee. They got away with prescription medication. And sometime between March 4th and March 5th, an outbuilding located on Old Sulphur Springs Road in Wellington was broken into. They got away with a Husqvarna leaf blower and a weed eater. Between March 29th and April 3rd, an outbuilding located on Webster's Road in Wellington was broken into. Tree climbing, tree stands, a camo blind, and fishing tackle were stolen from that location. And last up on your caseload this week, between April 2nd and April 3rd, 2 backpack blowers and 3 weed eaters were stolen from this residence on Alexandria-Jacksonville Highway in Alexandria. And that's it for your Crime Stoppers portion of the show. If you have any information on these cases, and we hope that you do, please give us a call at Crime Stoppers 256-238-1414. And remember, we want your information and not your name.
Stupid! You're so stupid!
All right, our crazy criminal this week, not as serious a crime as some that we have talked about, but still something that a lot of people get passionate about, and that is not cleaning up after your dog when your dog makes a mess out on the public.
Oh yeah, that's a pet peeve of mine. I don't like throw up or poo poo. If it's ain't changing my kids' diapers was hard, but I did it. But I don't like it.
And this is illegal, as much as some people think it's just what dogs do. They're supposed to do that outside. No, it is illegal when you're in most cities. Seattle is taking it to the next level. They are working together with the managers of the apartment complexes and such, and they are doing DNA testing on dog poop. So if you have a pet and you've registered it with the apartment complex, they'll actually get a DNA sample from your pet, and then if there's something out on the streets, they'll sample it. One guy's been fined 5 times.
That stinks, you know what?
It does.
You can't even get away with letting your dog. That's a little over the top.
But
right
I guess the message for would-be criminals out there is if they can do the DNA testing to find the dog that pooped out on the sidewalk, we're getting there. Science today, we're going to catch you.
We're going to catch you, and let me just tell you this. I don't know of anybody that's gone on the lam that hadn't been caught. Sooner or later, it might take a little longer than others, but you do the crime, you'll end up doing the time.
Absolutely. All right. Well, that is all the time that we have for this week. We'll be looking for you again next week, but hopefully not in the lineup on Calhoun County's Most Wanted.